update video on why we've been kind of MIA, to say the least. We're actually on our way to Tampa for my grandmother's 72nd birthday, so it's definitely a blessing to be there and to experience this birthday with her and to celebrate and, of course, you know, see family. That's always the best part about it. But yeah, you want to say hello?
Hello.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, just a little update. Let's see. Since the last time, we said past 2 weeks, right? It's been 2 weeks?
It's been a little bit longer than 2 weeks.
Okay, a little bit longer than that. But yeah, our trip to Connecticut was a lot of fun, and that was Cairo's first time on the plane, and he did so good. Like, he did so good. He was so fascinated with everything inside of the airplane, but we were lucky enough that he did sleep the whole 2.5 hours to Connecticut, because that's where I'm actually originally from. I'm born in Connecticut, Bridgeport, Connecticut, and raised in Jacksonville. But it was really good to go there, be on the plane again, see my family. The weather was so amazing, like totally different being obviously up north and being down south. Like, when we got off the plane, it was just like a heat wave that hit us. It was just like, oh my God, back to humidity, to say the least. But the weather was like fall there, so it was, you know, cool outside. Just, it's a difference just being up north. And like, Cairo loved it. He loved the weather, he loved being outside, he was all on the grass, you know, just everything. But that was our Connecticut trip, and we had a good time. And then he also, I'm saying, you like,
what are you talking about? He also what?
I'm saying, like, you just chilling. You're not even engaged.
Because I'm driving.
Oh my God. All
I
right.
already missed one goddamn exit driving.
He missed 2 exits.
One. And it took 15 goddamn miles. She's sitting over here not even saying shit. Gonna say something after the fact. Oh, that was the exit.
Because we were having a conversation. Where was your antennas?
Nigga, I'm driving. You supposed to be watching the GPS.
I was.
Tell me when the exit coming, not when we done passed that motherfucker.
Right, okay. Anywho, in other news, we've also been transitioning our son. You know, we're trying to get him off the boob, to say the least. He's gonna be going on 16 months that I've been nursing him exclusively. So obviously that could take a lot just on your body and like your mental and all that kind of stuff. But we've been trying to transition him to where he doesn't pretty much, you know, nurse at night, because I'm not getting any sleep at night, to say the least, because he's constantly on the boob. Like, I'm constantly just whipping out a titty, you know what I'm saying, so he can go back to sleep. So we actually tried to wean him off the boob, and that didn't go that well the first time around, because we just had the bright idea. Well, first of all, I was talking to another mom at the baby shower, and she was telling me how she had nursed her son for 13 months, and she was just like, you know what, you may have to just do it cold turkey, you know, let him cry it out, put him in his crib, and go from there.
That shit
Now,
didn't work.
we've heard a lot of talk about the cry it out method, but our son is relentless. Okay, he is relentless, and he screamed for more. They say they recommend 10 minutes. They recommend 10 minutes that you let them cry it out. We said, okay, like, we literally had a game plan. We were in the bathroom while he was taking a bath, and we were like, okay, so we're gonna do the first 5 minutes. You're gonna go in there. After the next 5 minutes, I'm gonna go in there, you know, because our timer was 10 minutes. And then, like, you know, we had to figure out essentially what we were gonna do step by step. And like, when you think about it, like, parenting is not easy, and there's, again, no rule book. There is no guidebook to tell you how to transition your child off the boob or how you get your child in the bed. Like, of course there's, you know, help books and stuff like that, but not every child is the same. Like, not every situation is the same, to say the least, and our situation is completely different, you know. But they was just like, oh, try it out, the cry it out method, you know, 2 weeks, 2 days, it's gonna work. No, it didn't work, guys. It didn't. He was literally halfway out of the crib. We ran in there to catch him from falling. Like, my child was scared, and brave. And it was funny because I was talking to a friend, and she was just like, Cairo didn't know who his parents was. They was like, I need to see who was around that corner because that's not my parents. This is a dream. Like, that can't be my parents that are putting me through this, to say the least. But then in another conversation with my best friend, she made it very clear that, like, you have to analyze your parenting style, you know, and how you parent is going to help you transition into how you do other things as you transition with your child, to say the least. So she brought it to my attention, you know, like, Bria, your parenting style, like you and Kevin's parenting style is very like calm. You explain things, you know, you're firm, but you don't yell, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't hit or anything like that. Like, you try to explain to him, you try to, you know, be calm with him, but firm, but at the same time, it's like, your approach is completely different. So for you to go cold turkey into, like, letting him scream when you don't let him scream, and just completely taking him away from the boob, he didn't know how to react to that. And that's exactly, like, he didn't know what was going on. So she was like, you got to ease into this. You got to go into stages. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when we had that conversation, it shed so much light on our parenting style and how we need to, like, take things into, you know, steps, to say the least. So, you know, we said, okay, I'm going to nurse him, you know, during the day. I'll probably nurse him maybe twice during the day. But at nighttime, no boo. And I was just like, I was struggling because I was like, well, how am I going to do this? Like, the only method that I have for soothing him is my boo. Like, what else am I going to do? He doesn't take a pacifier. He doesn't take a bottle. Like, my child has never been dependent upon a bottle or a pacifier. And I'm thankful for that. But what other method do I have besides rocking him? Meanwhile, my son is 27 pounds. Okay? That is a brick trying to rock him. Okay, and it just takes a lot of work to, like, get him calm, to say the least, if I'm not using my boob. So she was just like, you know what, try patting him on his back and talking to him and, you know, humming to him, whatever method that you have to try. So the first night I did it, and I laid him in the bed, and I said, okay, baby, we're gonna go to sleep. It's time to go to sleep. And, you know, we have the routine where he has his bath at a certain time, he eats at a certain time. And of course, you know, it's not strict on our schedule, but I don't try to derail away from it because I want to keep that routine because of what it's going to eventually, you know, allow us to do in the future, to say the least. But so I put him down, and he screamed. He cried for more than, what, 10 minutes? It was like 20. I feel like it was about 20 minutes that he was just crying, and he was rubbing his eyes, and he started yawning. And I'm like, it's going to be okay. And as hard as it was for him, it was hard for me at the same time, because it's just like, you know, you want to do everything in your power to soothe your child, to treat your child, you know what I'm saying? Like, your child is ultimately crying out for you, you know, for your comfort, for your security. So it's like, why would you not give that to your child? But at the same time, it's like, I have to be in a good space mentally to give you what you need. I need sleep. You know, I sacrifice my sleep, my time, my energy every single day. And in order for me to be the best parent that I can be to my child, I have to, you know, take care of myself as well. And, you know, I think that's a hard pill to accept as a mom. It's just like, you know, you want to be everything that your child needs and more, but like, you need those things for yourself in order for you to be the best version of yourself to your child. You get what I'm saying? Because when you're sleep deprived, or you're exhausted, or you're frustrated, and you have all these other stressors that are going on in your mind, you don't think about how your behavior can affect your child just because of you being on edge, almost, in a sense. You know, you may be quick to react versus taking a step back and thinking like, oh, maybe I'm kind of wrong, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe like, I clearly have a lot going on and I shouldn't have reacted the way that I have reacted. But all in all, you know, moms, you got to take care of yourself too. So, you know, he cried, and then he eventually went to sleep. I didn't give him any boob, you guys. So then he woke up. He slept for 4 hours. Then he woke up again, and then I patted him. I was like, it's okay, you're gonna be okay. And I hummed to him, and he's, mind you, he is in the bed with us, but, you know, I have to do things in stages. You know, we got to do things in stages. So he is in the bed with us still, but he's getting off of the boob first, learning how to sleep on his own. And now that he knows how to sleep on his own, he'll learn how to sleep on his own in his own bed eventually, because he's not looking for my comfort in the boob specifically. But so then the next night he went down a little bit easier than the first night. He didn't cry that long, to say the least, and he slept. He probably woke up. He slept for 5 hours and then woke up again, and that was it. He slept till 7 o'clock the next morning. So I've seen it where I've been able to progress, to say the least, in the fact that I do not nurse him at night. I'm able to get sleep at night versus me being all type of which ways. And we have done that for 2 weeks. Well, this will be the second week that we have not nursed him. Well, I have not nursed him at night, and he's transitioning very well. He knows how to go to sleep back on his own. He has moments where obviously he needs a little bit of comfort to go back to sleep, but to say the least, like, he's learning how to sleep on his own and not less dependent upon me, to say the least. So now we made it very clear he needs to go in his bed, because the other night he was literally like above my head, like feet probably in Kevin's face, like he's a wild sleeper. So we were like, okay, now this is the week, so on Monday we'll transition him into his bed to try to get him to sleep on his own in his own bedroom, so that way we can have the bed again for us together. Like I said, you know, we got to be able to cuddle and all that good stuff. But yeah, so that's basically what's been going on with us. I mean, we had our Connecticut trip, and then I was just like, all right, you know, what are we gonna do about, you know, transitioning him, and how are we gonna wean him off the boob, and like what are their steps or whatever like that. But I definitely encourage other young moms, if you have another young mom or another mom within, you know, I mean, you can always ask your parents, but I know my mom doesn't remember 20 some years ago, and she didn't breastfeed, so everyone's advice is not going to be the same. And I'm not saying that you can't go to your mom, who obviously is more tenured, but it's like the methods back then were a little bit different. So it's okay to reach out to your friends that you got to do whatever works for you. Come up with something. Like, of course, we had to figure out a method for ourselves, but it took, you know, some insight from my best friend who has 2 children, who told me how she, you know, transition her children out of their bed, out of, you know, she literally had to transition her children from not being rocked, because they were dependent on being rocked, then from out of the bed into their crib, and so now they're in their toddler beds, you know, in their room. So I mean, she said she had to do it in stages, and you know, it takes time. You can't just do everything so rushed. But when we think about it, like we were talking about this last night, we were up front in the living room, and Kyra was in the bed asleep, and we were just like, just think about it. A month ago, I wasn't getting any sleep. We weren't getting any sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was exhausted because I was constantly, like, I was tired. I was sleep deprived, to say the least. And just other things weren't aligning, you know, just in the household, to say the least, because there was other variables that were like affecting it, to say the least. But just a month ago, we were not getting much sleep. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't getting much sleep, and I was tired, and I didn't want to do extracurricular stuff. So it was just like, look, we need to figure out a method. But now he's sleeping throughout the night. Like, it just shows you that the things that are in life are temporary. You know, the pain that you may be going through, the stress that you may be going through, whatever you're going through in life is temporary. There is a rainbow on the other side. You just have to be.
It sounded bad to me. It was like shit was going on in the house and make it seem like it was something bad going on.
Oh, well, no, not.
You transitioning to a new job and you still taking classes and shit.
Well, yeah. No, okay, well, let me clarify then, babe. I mean, because, I don't know what you want me to say specifically. I don't want you to go in depth. But, I mean, no, there was no turmoil. There's no turmoil in our household, to say the least. But, you know, Kevin had just transitioned into a new job. We had transitioned into our new place. And, you know, at that time, I was taking a class. So it was just a lot on our plates, like him trying to get adjusted to his new job and his schedule, alongside me trying to finish up this class that I was taking, alongside taking care of my son, you know, while he's away, and still trying to get things, you know, situated in our home, and like how do we envision things, you know, in our home, and how we want it to be structured, alongside, you know, we got needs. So, you know, there's that conversation for another date, to say the least. But yeah, there was nothing like turmoil or anything like that. I didn't mean it to come off that way, babe, but it was just more so like we had things going on that really contributed. What happened? Oh, there were things that contributed to like why things were not as balanced. You get what I'm saying? But we have found a somewhat balance, a somewhat normal for our household, and I'm looking forward to what that entails in the future in regards to, like, you know, Cairo sleeping in his own room, like us being able to enjoy the living room area, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, while he's asleep watching a movie or whatever the case may be, or just cuddling in the bed. Like, these are real things that go on as young parents and, you know, a young married couple as well, like, you know, trying to find that balance that works for us. But at the end of the day, just remember that things are temporary, and on that other side is a rainbow, because you have to be grateful as well for those little successes. You know, those little successes help in regards to, you know, what your future is. You know, you have to, like, what does that say? Like, you gotta praise them in the, for the little stuff. What are you talking about?
To me, enjoy the moment. What are you talking about?
I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, I want to slow down, but we're going, you know,
This shit keep changing.
Yeah, this is where they try to ticket you at. Yeah, that you might want to slow down right over here for sure.
Keep going on
No, that's not the mentality. And little man is back here. He is knocked out for the moment, and we are elated right now that he is sleeping. That, you know, because we were really, honestly, we were nervous about this drive. I know I was nervous about this drive, because I was just like, wow, you know, Kairo's first plane ride, he did so good. Like, how is he going to do on the plane? Like, is he going to sleep? Is he going to stay up? Is he going to stay in my lap? Is he going to be loud? Is he going to be crying? Like, I didn't know what he was going to do. But he slept. But I did nurse him, so that helped, of course. But then I was like, okay, cool, we're going to Tampa. Tampa, that's 3 hours. Oof. How is Cairo gonna deal in a car seat? Because, like, whenever we're out, it seems like we got a 4-hour limit with Cairo. He don't want to be in the car super long, so we got to make sure that, like, he's entertained, or like he just be ready to get out the car seat. So I was just thinking, like, is Cairo gonna sit in the car seat for this long? Like, what are we gonna do? But we left at a decent time. That's usually his nap time. He usually naps around 11. So we kind of hit the road around that time. Like, Kevin had just got a haircut, so it was like perfect. Boom. We hit the road around 11. He has his snacks. We just gave him something to eat. He should be going to sleep around this time. And surely enough, he napped as his usual time. And, you know, that gives us a good hour and a half, 2 hours that he'll be asleep, to say the least. So our ride wouldn't be too, you know, chaotic if, you know, I got to jump in the back seat to calm him down because he's ready to get out the car seat, or whatever the case may be. But those are like real life situations that parents have to go through. They have to think through. Like, you can't get up and go on the road any time of night, like, with the child, or like if you want to take a road trip, like, you got to plan that stuff out. Like, you got to know how you're gonna, like, move forward, to say the least. But yeah, he's sleeping so far. I mean, I don't know if you can see him. No, you can't see him, but he's knocked out. That's all I know. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about, babe? It was mainly just an update video. I mean, I know that we have some other topics that we do want to discuss and everything like that. But yeah, it was just mainly an update of why we've been kind of MIA. You know, we've been trying to
tell people to be fucking careful on the road. Pay attention.
Yes, please be careful on the road. Like,
motherfuckers been driving crazy as fuck. Excuse my language.
Thank you. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if we just need to have like a meeting or something, or if we need to have a rally on safe driving or something, but like, I don't know who's giving these people their license. I don't know who's approving these things, but for police officers to be patrolling the streets and trying to pass out tickets for other stuff, it's like, we need to be patrolling the streets about, you know, this reckless driving that's going on. Like, people are driving like as if they have somewhere to go that's so urgent. Like, if you're rushing to get to work, if you're late, you're already late. That job is not going anywhere. That building is not leaving. It's not like you're running to a boat and that boat is about to take off. Like, if you're late, you're just gonna be late. You should have prepared yourself. You should have planned for the circumstances. If you've lived in Jacksonville, you know the traffic is horrible. Kevin has to be to work at 9 o'clock every morning. He has to travel all the way to the south side. We live on the north side by the airport. So, he knows the traffic is ridiculous. My husband is smart enough to know that he has to prepare for bad traffic so that way he can still get to work on time, still get to work to get himself situated. So if that means he has to leave an hour and 15 early or hour 30, he's gonna do that, because at the end of the day, this is what pays all the bills. This is our livelihood. So he knows that he has to make the necessary arrangements to get himself where he needs to go accident free. That doesn't mean rushing and speeding and leaving the house when you know you got to be to work at 9 o'clock at 8:30, but you got to travel all the way to the south side, and you're not anticipating traffic, or you know traffic is bad. Then you get upset that you start, you know, doing road rage or doing whatever XYZ. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, we need to like really preach about being like better planners, preparing yourself. Like,
die in the car.
You can really die.
Life can be over real quick. Like, I literally, like, just a couple weeks ago, my sister got in a car accident. Somebody else's fault.
Yep.
They hit her on the driver's side and ran her into a concrete pole.
A concrete pole.
I was on my way to work. My mama called me crying and shit.
Mm-hmm. This.
I get to the scene. My sister already being taken in the ambulance. And that shit looked horrible.
Yeah.
So I don't wish that on nobody. And
Exactly.
I hope that everybody, like, just pay more attention. Be more careful, especially in the fucking car, bro.
Exactly.
Like, shit ain't that serious. If you're late, you're already fucking late. Take your time to get where you're trying to go. All that weaving in and out of traffic and speeding around people's ass and shit ain't necessary.
It's really not necessary. And then if someone were to brake check your ass, you're gonna be real upset that someone did that to you. Don't do stuff that you know that you don't want done to you. Like, people really out here looking for accidents because they're trying to either get a come up. I don't know what it is, but it's sickening. It really is. Like, just even on the road now, we got people cutting in front. You know, like, we're doing the speed limit. I'm gonna drive the speed limit. Are you gonna pay for that ticket? If you're not gonna pay for that ticket, then sit your ass down and shut up. Period. Like, I don't know. It gets me really upset when when other drivers, like, I know I'm not driving right now, but when I am driving, I get really upset when other people do other, like, mischievous things, and it's just like, you clearly do not understand the liability. Like, you just don't take your life serious. And don't let my child be in the car. Then it's a real problem. Like, I just, please, you guys, prepare, think. You know what I'm saying? Like, my daddy always told me, you're not driving just for you. You got to drive for you and for someone else. So I hope that people really take heed to that message, because honestly, like, you could be really ending not only your life, but someone else's life, you know? And at the end of the day, like, it's just a split second. You constantly on your phone texting, and you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that text message can really wait. Like, I'm not gonna be texting on my phone while I'm driving. Like, not only because I'm driving, like, I care about my life, but I care about my son's life. I care about my husband's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows if I'm driving, I'm gonna call him. Or there's other methods on your phone that you can use. Like, I'm sure you probably got the voice text. If you got an iPhone, you got the voice text. That's the easiest. I'm pretty sure Androids do too. That's the easiest thing that you can use to help you, you know, if you're trying to get a message to someone, if it's that freaking urgent. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just have to take our life more serious. Like, people are really running around here with no mind. Like, they don't care who they affect, you know, or who's sad about it. It's just like, come on now. Like, we got to come back to a world that has a heart. You know, I know it's so much turmoil that's going on in the country, but it doesn't have to make your heart bitter and, you know, in despair about the things that are going on. Like, you can create your own narrative. You can create your own legacy. You know, the path that you want to have for your family and your future families. Like, you can do that for yourself. You have to break the cycle. You have to break the curse. You know, we live in a generation where there are generational curses that are upon, you know, many families, and they don't know what way to go. But honestly, education is really the key. When you know better, you do better. Like, that's a true statement. That's like a factual statement. You know, when you don't know, you just continuously doing things in the unknown. Like, you don't know. You didn't know that is a possibility of the outcome. You know, and it doesn't hurt to ask questions. You know, I'm a big advocate on asking questions. If you don't ask questions, then how are you going to know? You know? But I don't know. That was just a little side rant, to say the least. But ooh, he's just knocked out. But yeah, so we're just enjoying our little drive to Tampa, although we are turning right back around. So, well, we leave tomorrow, to say the least, because we're just going there for the birthday celebration, and then we'll come back Sunday, and we may stop a few places. We'll see. But yeah, and then back to the work week, you know, unfortunately. Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to close out on?
No, that's it for today.
That's it for me?
It's long enough. It's been about 30 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I hope everyone enjoys their Saturday. It is a beautiful day, most importantly, and I hope that you're spending time with your loved ones, or I encourage you to spend time with your loved ones, because my grandmother's turning 72, and that's a blessing to see her and for her to see her great-grandchildren. Like, my son is her great-grandchild, and just the fact that I even have the experience to say that my grandmother seen, you know, my son, is a blessing. And like, he loves her so much, and I just can't wait for, you know, him to grow up and, you know, pray the Lord she's still living, and or look back on memories, you know, or have memories of her. You know, that's the most important thing, or create those memories. So I definitely say stay encouraged, create memories with your family,